important DC Comics is to Warner Brothers going forward. Unless it's a movie, a billion-dollar movie, they don't care. They don't care about your comic books. They don't care about comic book creators unless they're churning out IP that they can use to make billion-dollar movies. That's just the reality of the situation we're in now. And for most geeks and nerds right now, it's all about the Funko Pops and the trinkets and the tchotchkes and the cosplay, and everything has fundamentally changed. Everything has fundamentally changed, and it's never going to go back to what it was. It just isn't. And what could potentially happen is we see DC Comics pared down even more than it is right now. Marvel Comics pared down even more than it is right now. But looking at some of the output, I don't know if that's such a bad thing, to be honest. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later. To make billion-dollar movies. That's just the reality of the situation we're in now. And for most geeks and nerds right now, it's all about the Funko Pops and the trinkets and the tchotchkes and the cosplay, and everything has fundamentally changed. Everything has fundamentally changed, and it's never going to go back to what it was. It just isn't. And what could potentially happen is we see DC Comics pared down even more than it is right now. Marvel Comics pared down even more than it is right now. But looking at some of the output, I don't know if that's such a bad thing, to be honest. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
love you. Girl, I'm the man for you. I know you'll find many other lovers, but no one can treat you the way that I do. I wanna make love to you. Oh, let me touch you like you've never been touched before. I make one can treat you the way that I do. I wanna make love to you. Oh, let me touch you like you've never been touched before. I make you scream, shout for more, more, more. Let me kiss you like you've never been kissed before. All over your body, baby. I make you scream, holler for more, more. What do you do in your spare time? Is it good loving? I swear I can treat you right. So won't you step inside my loving tonight, my loving tonight. I know you've been treated so wrong, but girl, I'm here for the taking. We'll make love all night long, all night long. Baby, just believe in me. Come on, give your love to me. Oh, let me touch you like you've never been touched before. Won't you step inside my love tonight? I'll make you scream, shout, oh, treat you right, treat you right. First I'm gonna kiss you in your coldest spot. Ooh, baby, put that where you want it, baby. I wanna do you. I wanna do you. Let me do you. I wanna do. Oh, let me
editorial. How many people approved this? It's literally one gigantic negative stereotype. Got a fade. He raps in the entire book. He calls Asgard his hood. Not even making that up. That is directly from the comic. For some reason, there's shoes on wire. Graffiti everywhere. He wears Jordans. Instead of having actual armor, he has a hoodie. It's really weird. Really, really weird. Said right here, now that was a banger. Because an Asgard party don't quit, light it up. Like, this is a really awful comic. Awful comic. And, you wonder who works over in Marvel Comics now. Like, who's approving this? And I did a video on that, too, showing a lot of the editorial over there. Most of them young, white women. That should tell you something right there. Well, I'm here to tell you that the party don't stop. Just like at Asgard here, as Miles Morales, Thor said. Now they're making a gay Spider-Man. And for some reason, he looks like Gold Dust from the WWE. And he's very flamboyant. I don't understand why. Wouldn't he just be like a regular Spider-Man? But because they have to make it a part of the character's appearance, they have to go into these stereotypes. Like, they basically take the most outrageous stereotypes they can for that group of people and try to make it like as noticeable as possible so that you can tell that the character is gay. And I wonder, like, who is this for? Because I would think most people would just want the character to be a normal Spider-Man, but this is it. So, got like this English neck thing here. Notice how the way his hands are, like one on the hip with his hip swayed and pushing down here like this. And another thing is the eye sockets have eyelashes. I noticed that too right away. Like, this is what they're doing. Like, and I'm thinking, like, who is this for? Like, here's two Spider-Men right here. They have a panel from two Spider-Men that meet. I don't know what this is from. I think they say a Spider-Verse Volume 1, Number 2. And they're talking, and they're trying to figure out how they're any different at all. Like, it's fine if they want to make the character gay and it works for the story. It's fine. But for some reason, I just don't really quite understand the reasoning that the character needs to be so stereotypical of a very flamboyant person. It's almost like you're saying, like, if you swing that way, that's the way you are. Which to me is isn't that kind of offensive? But they don't seem to understand that. Or maybe it's just me. Here's a better picture of it right here. Like, they're saying this is the first Spider-Man that swings that way. And look what they do. Like, this is what the eyes with the eyelashes is just a strange decision for me. The default standing pose is the hip swayed with his hand on it. It just seems like a big stereotype, the same as this one. It's like, why would he be any different from a regular Thor? You know what I'm saying? And why would he be any different than a regular Spider-Man? His sexuality should do anything with the character, but this is how Marvel Comics thinks. Here's something even creepier about the stuff that they're doing. I saw this. This is really strange. So this is Marvel Voices Iceman. Marvel Voices Iceman. Now, a few years ago, they decided to have Iceman come out of the closet. Okay? And now they're drawing him like he's a 10-year-old. Tell me that doesn't look like that. Here's another one. What is this? Here's what he's supposed to look like. Something like this, or this, or this, or this, or this. This is pretty cool art. This. I mean, he's a man. He's a grown man, at least in his 20s. But for some reason, when they do a Marvel Voices comic, which is supposed to celebrate Pride, they draw him like he's a 10-year-old boy. really weird decision making. I don't like this is not what he looks like, but for some reason when you're going to celebrate his identity, you think that he needs to look like a young child? Like, what is going on at Marvel Comics? And you know what's funny is all of the shill sites celebrate this is amazing. What a bold creative decision. They don't criticize this either, or ask the question, just because this Peter Parker is, if it's even a Peter Parker, is into guys, why does he need to be a huge stereotype? The same thing with Thor. They were praising this too, saying this is amazing. Clueless. I really don't get what's going on over at Marvel Comics anymore. Like, they're just really stepping out of left lane now. And like I said in a previous video, this is what happens when you don't need to be motivated by profits. You can pretty much just do whatever you want with no oversight. And believe me, I don't think Disney cares if Marvel makes money. It explains a lot. I think they want them to just kind of stay like not lose so much money. This is why, like, they're probably on a shoestring budget, number one. I guarantee you they're on a shoestring budget, because if you've ever handled a Marvel comic book, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because when you start touching the paper, the ink runs off on your finger. It's cheap paper, cheap materials. They pay the people that work on the books pennies on the dollar, and it's just, you end up with a lot of stupid people that work at the company. I mean, most of them are all activists. Here's one right here, Heather Antos. She works at IDW now. She used to work at Marvel for a long time. And here she is inciting violence. Burn it all down. Snip, snip, MFers. And this guy says, nice call for violence. Good reason to never let you people have power. You be certain to abuse it. She says, how do you think this country started? This is okay behavior, though. And it's not, I'm not trying to argue this argument about what she's mad about, but I don't think calling for violence is right in any situation. And that's exactly what this comic book editor, former Marvel editor, is doing. So I don't know what's going on at Marvel Comics. They're really just making some really strange decisions. I definitely would not want my children reading this at all. This is really weird and really messed up. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my locals. Link in the description. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there, and
Gotta go fast. Alexa.
Well, I'm off. It's been a real blast, but I gotta split. See ya!
Hey! He isn't sick, he's a fake!
It's okay. After all, why make him stay on the boat if he doesn't want to?
Enjoy your vacay, kids. Catch you on the flip side, huh? Ah!
Wow! What happened here? Isn't this something? What's going on?
Good morning. Nice day.
Tanaka! What are you doing here? Who are all these people?
These people are joining us from the Silver Star Retirement Home. It is Mr. Thorndyke's hope that you and your friends will learn from them. They will be your coaches, you see.
Coaches? Mr. Tanaka? What will they coach us
On how to relax. You see, they have all worked hard for many years, and now the time has come for them to relax. They will teach you how to as well.
No thanks, Mr. Tanaka. I just want the helicopter to take Sonic home.
He will remain here. Even a great warrior needs his rest. Constant battles not only exhaust the body, but also the mind. The warrior must relax and be rejuvenated, so that when next he goes to battle, he is mightier than before.
Hey, where are you going? What about me? No, wait! Come back!
And so, from that afternoon on, our new friends taught us all how to relax.
Just look at that, Tails. Isn't it wonderful?
Look at it.
Sometimes life goes by so fast that we never take the time to appreciate the simple.
Come back! Hey, where are you going? What about me? No, wait! Come back!
And so, from that afternoon on, our new friends taught us all how to relax.
Just look at that, Tails. Isn't it wonderful? Sometimes life goes by so fast that we never take the time to appreciate the simple things. Like a blue sky and fluffy white clouds.
I understand you and your friends are from another planet. My, it's so fascinating.
Yeah, we've only been here for a little while, but we like it. Everyone's been so nice to us since we got here.
I'm glad. How lovely. So you come from another planet, do you?
He's out
And
tonight.
so the lady asked Cream the same question over and over. Sonic was so bored he tried to jump ship all the way to shore, but he missed 15 times.
Not bad. He went about 5 nautical miles on that one.
Little guy gets further every time.
That Sonic can't relax for 1 second. Oh, what's the use? I'll find somebody else to play shuffleboard with.
Something tells me you got a thing for that little Sonic fellow.
What makes you say that, mister?
I can tell just by looking at you.
Is it that easy to see?
Why, sure. It's obvious. Then again, Sonic probably has that effect on all the girls.
What girls are you talking about?
It sure is a beauty. Those dimwits thought they'd seen the end of me, but I've outsmarted them. I got a shiny new base hidden where nobody can see.
You have outdone yourself, Doctor. Very impressive.
You can say that again. What a shocker! I had no idea there was another super secret base hidden down here.
Of course you had no idea. If you had, it wouldn't have been a secret. It's required of all evil geniuses to be smart as well as sneaky.
Let's get started, Doctor. I cannot wait to see the look on Sonic's face when he sees the powerful new Deco Boco XL Super Ultra.
Just a minute. Hold your horses, you dome-headed donkey! Who gave you permission to name anything around here? I'm the boss! I'll do the naming!
You mean you've already named the 3 components?
But of course! There's Deco 2, Poco 2, and best of all, the XL Super Ultra Eggman Extreme!
I do not like those names.
Neither do I. Why do our sections get boring names and your section gets a big, long, fancy one with cool words like Super Ultra Extreme?
What is the deal with that? We should be able to name our own sections.
Well, excuse me. I thought I was doing you a favor by naming them for you.
Well, maybe you should have asked us first.
All right. Don't get snippy. I've written some second and third choices in here. What about Ace, Jack, King?
Nope.
I don't even play cards.
Rock, paper, scissors?
You can't be serious.
Eeny, meeny, miny. XYZ? How does Egg, Egger, and Eggiest grab ya? I think that could work.
As time went by, we learned more and
guys.
more about relaxing and enjoying
Look,
life from our
Sonic.
new friends. Soon everyone was having a good
Sonic
time.
X.
Everyone except
Freaking
Sonic, who still
Sonic
hadn't gotten
freaking
used to the idea. So he started hatching an escape plan. And this is what
Sonic
happened.
freaking X. Look at him.
Why would I be worried about the X tornado?
You see, we've been on this boat for a couple of days, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, Tails, did you ever think that just maybe machines can get lonely? I bet the X-Tornado's been awful lonesome since you went away.
Oh no! I never even thought of that! I feel so guilty! How could I abandon you like that? Poor little X-Tornado!
I got him.
Do you really mean that, Sonic?
Well, sure I mean it, Amy. I think you're just about the cutest thing I've ever seen. The way you swing that little hammer of yours around, my heart beats 1,000,000 times a minute. I know, you could never care for somebody like me. I guess that's just the way it has to be. Perhaps I could go on if you would only swing that hammer once more.
You want it? You got it!
Amy's gone berserk.
Uh-huh. This boat's gonna drive everybody bananas sooner or later.
What do you think, Grandpa? Maybe we should ask the captain if we can turn the ship around.
I don't know. I have a feeling something fishy's going on.
Did he really truly say that, Amy? It's the truth, Cream! He said his little heart beat faster every time I swung my hammer. He's so dreamy. Wow, that's so sweet! I have a feeling one day soon Sonic's gonna ask me to be his girl. Really, June? Sonic!
Hey man, say something there. Well, you might ask the twin. Talk. Oh shit, did you have it? Shit, did you have it? Alright man, what's up, man?
Dear Mom and Dad and everybody, I'm sorry to leave without saying goodbye. I knew if I said anything, you'd try and stop me from trying to travel to Sonic's world. It's very important to me, so I hope you'll understand. Don't worry. I'll be fine. And I'll be back. I'll miss you all. Mom and Dad, Grandpa, Danny, Francis, and Helen. I love you. Chris. P.S. I'll tell Sonic and the others.
If you're enjoying this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. We need you here. You know what? It's my opinion that there just aren't enough gay characters in mainstream entertainment. I don't know why. I don't know what the holdup is. Don't you guys realize June is passing us by? It's Pride Month. It's almost over, and there just aren't enough. Oh, what's this? Marvel announces first gay Spider-Man. Just in time for Pride. Just caught the tail end of June. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. It's me, Ethan Van Sciver, 29-year veteran of the comic book industry, and I had to talk about this. Everybody else is talking about it too. We're going to take a deep dive into Marvel Comics' first gay Spider-Man, just in time for Pride. Yeah, there aren't enough gay characters in comics, and you know what else there isn't enough of? You know what else we find in short supply? Actual creative people who are willing to work for subsistence level wages in the mainstream. That being the case, and therefore it being an impossibility to create actual new characters that might be gay, let's just take all the characters that you love and turn them into celebrations of Pride. What do you say? This Pride Month, turns out that the Spider-Verse is big enough for the LGBTQ plus community as Marvel welcome the first gay Spider-Man into the fold. That's beautiful. Got Peter Parker. Look at this little. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, all right, whatever. Comic publishers like Marvel have been stepping up their game for Pride Month. We need more gays and we need them now. So they've announced Web Weaver. This character here is named Web Weaver. I've actually called him Skin Crawler. I think Skin Crawler is better. And I hope that they maybe consider taking, I don't know, my name, my idea here. All right, let's see. Sharing the news via Twitter. This guy, Steve Fox. Surprise! I had the huge gay honor of helping to co-create Web Weaver, who will make his debut in the Edge of Spider-Verse #5 this September. Designed by the one and only Christopher Ranka. Now I'm sad to see that Steve Fox, I think he has blocked me on the Twitter. He's blocked me. That's a little preemptive. But I don't think Christopher Anka has yet. Blocked me. I don't even know you, Steve. Why? What the heck? But somehow you knew. Somehow you knew this day would be coming. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on with this guy here. Now, Chris Anka actually did the designs, I think, for Into the Spider-Verse or something like that, which was pretty rock and roll. So, I mean, he's a good designer, and yet, what the... Oh, what is this? What is going on here? All right, so I listen, respect. I respect your design sense, sir. This is not a superhero, though. This is a runway drag queen of some sort, I guess. But I mean, maybe that's what you're going for. What do I know? From the jump, I looked at a lot of McQueen and Mugler. I don't know who those are. And I guess that's probably good. No need to research that. For this as inspiration, I cast a wide net for original designs while also looking at new and unique spiders that Steve Fox has recommended, which eventually pared down to this look here. So this is the new gay Spider-Man, complete with posture. Nice kind of attitudinal pose here, cocking his hip to the side like a woman. And just like what, bitch? What do you mean? What do you want me to do? His eyes have really nice eyelashes on them. I don't know where that came from on the spider. I can see some of the markings were used, I guess, in here to make this design. This is interesting here, I guess. This is his new spider logo, and then he's got this kind of drag queen spider eye look. And the question is how people are feeling about this. Now, Marvel Comics and DC Comics are all going out of their way to celebrate Pride. And there are a lot of people who are there to celebrate Pride with them. They applaud when Superman is turned bisexual, when Robin is turned bisexual. Basically every superhero in the DC universe right now, the entire Justice League is gay or bisexual or lesbian. They applaud. Unfortunately, the sales tend to decline, but that initial rush, do corporations get dopamine hits? Because I think that must be part of what's going on here. That must be part of the motivation for doing this. 56 quote tweets. Let's see what people are saying. I don't know what that is there. Is he a black Ukrainian Latinx? Says this person. This is a good question. Let's really narrow down. If he's black, that's great on the victimhood hierarchy. Ukrainian, very victim-y. And then also Latinx, which, Latinx. This is such a fun Spider-Man design. Fair enough. You know what? Miss Weaver out here serving us. All right, so these are clearly typical Spider-Man fans. This one's very smart here. There's no way this Spider-Man isn't gay. There's no way. Now, this person has suspected that other Spider-Men have been gay in the past. This one, though, give me a break. Gaydar is going off here. That's not your spider sense that's tingling. this is funny too. After the Miles/Thor controversy, in which Miles Morales, yeah, was turned into Thor, and basically did nothing but spout off black stereotypical dialogue, like hip-hop dialogue from 1991. People laughed at that. This is good. This person's reassured. This is as amazing as it looks and isn't just filled with stereotypes. Hell no. How could you say that that was stereotypically gay in any way? I mean, the nice long kind of flowing sleeves here that are cut, slit right up the forearm and then just dangle. Nice shoulder pads here to sort of broaden up. No, there's nothing stereotypically gay about this. A fashion designer, this person is a Van Dyne, so maybe they're related to the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne. Don't really know. Look, this again. This is a new expression that I've never heard before. Interesting. We're learning a little bit about current culture here. We're learning about what the kids on Twitter, the TikTok fans, are saying. Looks fucking amazing. So whenever this happens, you're going to see a lot of praise. Oh, Spider Queer, as Marvel is doing what they're doing. Evidently, Marvel is serving See You Next Tuesdays, and lots of them. All of these people are being served, and by Marvel Comics, and that's good. All right, so what do we got going on here? Web Weaver, that is his name. Let me go back and see that article. What do we got? I like the attitude here. It's like, what, me? And then, oh, is that crazy? The only thing you're craving is this penis. The only thing you're craving is ass. No, the only thing I'm craving is that ass. Watch me serve up some CUNT. Yeah, I like it. I like the, Why is this happening? What's going on to comics, guys? What is happening to the comic book industry? Why is it like this? Why is it about 100% gay now? I never thought of comics that way before. I never thought of superheroes as leaning in that direction, but that's where they are now. I mean, now it's inevitable. There's a whole generation of kids that are being raised to go superheroes. That's gay. And I really don't know what to do about it, except to point and laugh. So that's what we're going to do with the pencil of scorn. Look at him. Look at his little, look at his Victorian neck collar here. Look at, oh, Craven. Good luck to you. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. I mean, all I can do is shrug at this point, guys. Every single day, a new classic Marvel or DC character is turned gay, and all we can do is just shrug, point, and laugh. Leave me comments, subscribe, like this video, and I will see you again soon with another one. Take care. The All Caps Comics eBay store is live for all of your non-soy comic book needs. Whether it's Cyberfrog, Starblades, or Rainbow the Brute, ask for it in all caps. Check out the link in the description below. Hey, come follow me on Twitter.
At this point, Steve realizes that he's talking with a robot, but the truly funny thing is that the robot doesn't realize that he's been discovered.
Do you ever hear from Eddie or Luke? Any of the old gang from NASA?
I love the troubled look on Steve's face as he realizes he's talking to a computer program. There's a complex plan involving cars chasing them and helicopters above and people setting off little bombs. And then the robot beats up Steve and steals his electronic heart. This part of the storyline felt overly complex. It seemed like the robot... Today we are going to be talking about the $6 Million Man episode, The Day of the Robot. I have fond memories of watching the 6 Million Man in sweatshirt comes and lifts the very same weights. Very cool. This episode opens with a hefty guy with bad 1970s haircut lifting big weights. It is obvious that they are very heavy things. Then a man in sweatshirt comes and lifts the very same weights. In a very unnatural way. The one thing I remember most about this episode is the very strange and scary synthesized music. It really set a tone that something scary was being introduced here. As it turned out, it was a robot. This had a profound effect on my childhood. Whenever I saw someone in sweatshirts and sweatpants, I thought he must be a robot. I liked how the show handled the robot from the very beginning. We are not told that robot is strong, we are shown it in a very visually stunning way. It makes it clear that the robot is very dangerous and very deadly. Then the guy who paid to build the robot has some small talk with it.
You learned that trick. My old man ran a gym back in Galesburg, Illinois. Ever been there? Let me buy you a drink.
Oh, thanks.
Robot shows he can talk just like a regular person.
I saw Mary last night. She asked about you.
Oh? Is she still editing that woman's magazine?
Is she still editing that woman's magazine? Uh-oh. Look at Scary Robot. Main part of episode formally begins with scenes of Washington, D.C. Look, there's Capitol. Look, there is Pentagon. Look, there is National Mall. This is all stock footage. The rest of the episode is filmed near Los Angeles. We will get into that later. Steve Austin is playing tennis with his friend named Major Sloan. We're supposed to think that Steve uses bionic eye to win at tennis. But I suspect the bionic legs and arms would probably be more helpful in this. Then they meet with Oscar Goldman, who despite his last name does not look at all to be Jewish. He tells Steve that he will be escorting Major Sloan to Army base to test new anti-missile system. Steve will be carrying components of missile system with him. Oscar says that bad people have tried to steal this from them before. The most common sense thing to do, of course, would be for the military to give Major Sloan an escort. But of course, if they did that, then we would not have episode. Robot is revealed to be a copy of Major Sloan. He will be used to steal vital components of anti-missile system. I love this, how advanced technology is going to be used to steal another component of advanced technology. It makes storyline more complex. They then test Robot's ability to do small talk, and Robot performs impressively.
Do you remember that night in San Francisco? What was her name? Jeannie? Yeah, Jeannie.
Which one was Jeannie?
One in the cable car with the skis.
Skis on a cable car, yes. Yes, I remember. See how we followed through the personnel records? I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Sloan, Frederick W. Major, U.S. Air Force. Can I buy you a drink?
Can I buy you a drink?
You recognize this man?
Are you serious? That's my buddy Steve.
When's the last time you saw Mr. Austin?
Mister? You mean Colonel Austin, don't you? Steve would cringe if anybody called him Mister. He's all Air Force. There's not a drop of Mister in him.
Uh-oh.
Last time I saw my buddy Steve Austin was on the tennis court this morning.
Uh-oh. This robot is so convincing that I'm thinking he will completely fool his friend Steve. This scene shows the viewer how the robot can really impersonate Major Sloan. It's a marvel of technology. It really is very nuanced here. An actor who is acting like a robot who is impersonating a real person. Steve and Major Sloan drive to military base. Sloan was a little bit poisoned by the bad guys and has to squeeze some excrement out of his buttocks. They stop at a gas station where Sloan is replaced by a robot. I do not understand how the bad guys knew exactly where they would be stopping to go to bathroom. Anyway, notice immediate change in Sloan when he is replaced by the robot. Scary synthesized music is played with even scarier violins.
It was not good. I mean, it wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was actually good, but it was kind of...
All just because a robot walked into gas station.
Right in his face fell off. Talk about me. You try to cause major trauma.
Music can really set a dramatic tone for a story if done well.
Well, that was quick. Glad to see the colors back in your face.
It's the tennis and clean living.
It's the tennis and clean living.
I feel like driving, Steve.
Uh-oh. Steve lifts front of car out of ditch, alerting the bad guys that he is super powerful. But then Robot lifts back of car out of ditch, alerting Steve that something is very wrong with his friend.
Did I do it right, Steve?
Yeah. I'll drive.
Robot is totally clueless to what he just revealed. Bad guys try to figure out what is so special about Steve Austin.
How did he lift that car? What is he? I don't know. Parnell never mentioned anything unusual about him.
In turn, Steve tries to figure out what is so special about Major Sloan.
Oscar, is there anyone else like me?
A simple answer?
Yeah.
No.
Are you sure?
I believe so.
Each side knows there is something different about their adversary, but isn't quite sure what it is. It doesn't really affect their plans, however. Steve still intends to deliver Sloan to the military base, and the bad guys still want to steal the anti-missile technology. Steve, realizing something is very wrong with his friend, asks him questions to figure out if he is impostor.
What was the name of that gal you were chasing after last time I saw you? She was an airline stewardess, wasn't she?
Doesn't really affect their plans, however. Steve still intends to deliver Sloan to the military base, and the bad guys still want to steal the anti-missile technology. Steve, realizing something is very wrong with his friend, asks him questions to figure out if he is impostor.
What was the name of that gal you were chasing after last time I saw you? She was an airline stewardess, wasn't she?
Last time I saw you, I was chasing after a beauty named Clarissa. She's an artist.
That's right. What's Mary doing these days?
She's still editing that woman's magazine.
She's still editing that women's magazine. I love that response.
Guess what, Fred?
What?
There's a car following us.
You weren't so nervous in the old days, Steve.
And then Steve looks at him, and at that moment, I think Steve realizes that he's talking to a machine. Because he says again,
There's a car following us.
You weren't so nervous in the old...
Uh-oh.
Ow! I couldn't help but to rewind that.
now.
At this point, Steve realizes that he's talking with a robot. But the truly funny thing is that the robot doesn't realize that he's been discovered.
Do you ever hear from Eddie or Luke? Any of the old gang from NASA?
I love the troubled look on Steve's face as he realizes he's talking to a computer program. At this point, Steve realizes that he's talking with a robot, but the truly funny thing is that the robot doesn't realize that he's been discovered.
Do you ever hear from Eddie or Luke? Any of the old gang from NASA?
I love the troubled look on Steve's face as he realizes he's talking to a computer program. There's a complex plan involving cars chasing them and helicopters above and people setting off little bombs. And then the robot beats up Steve and steals his electronic card. This part of the storyline felt overly complex. It seemed like the robot could simply have beaten up Steve and stolen his electronic card at any time. Anyway, robot goes on to the military base. I love this robotic cello music as he runs.
Am I crazy, or are Hal and Diana holding Ethan Van Sciver covers? And I'm pretty sure Bruce has Shane Davis work in his hands. What the? Oh, CBR. Uh-oh, did you forget we were canceled? Hello. If you're enjoying this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. We need you here. Yes. This is definitely a goof up from Comic Book Resources, aka CBR, which is largely an SJW-dominated comic book website. You know, I can't even go over there and talk on the message boards. You know, I am a legendary creator, comic book creator. Yeah, by all measures, by every metric, by every standard, I would be considered a legendary creator. Still, CBR is so cocked and so very, very SJW that their message boards are kind of blocked to me. If I were to come over there, they would sort of, and just answer a question, everyone would react as though there were a terrorist in the messages, in the building. It would be hysterical, it would be weird, it would be funny. I don't do that. I don't bother people. That's just not what I do. I don't go where I'm not wanted. But sometimes they come to me, and that is interesting. So this is indeed a reminder of a time when DC Comics was making comics that people liked by talented creators who worked really, really hard to distill and represent the essence of DC's greatest characters. And that's definitely what I sought to do. I think it's what Shane sought to do, although I've never really asked him. And here's a piece of artwork that probably CBR regrets having used for this little article. Countdown until they actually replace this artwork. Here's Wonder Woman, and she is reading a copy of the seminal Green Lantern graphic novel. Seminal has nothing to do with like semen or anything. It just means important, pivotal, watershed. This is Green Lantern Rebirth, drawn by me and written by Jeff Johns, who is also, they're trying so hard to cancel Jeff Johns. What he goes through, I can't even comprehend. I mean, the amount of evil that gets sent his way, being called a racist and all that. You've got Flash back here. I don't know what he's doing. What is he reading? We don't know. He's reading it too fast. Interestingly enough, here's here's our Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and he's reading a copy of Flash Rebirth, which is the other, I guess it's kind of like the brother book to Green Lantern Rebirth. Jeff Johns and I brought back Hal Jordan. Terrifically successful project, 6 issues. It was late, of course, but it was also widely considered to be the best Green Lantern story in a long time, and it really restored Green Lantern to like it made Green Lantern DC's #2 book, right, outside of the Batman IP. I shouldn't say book, like character, franchise. Franchise is a better word. So Green Lantern was second only to Batman in terms of popularity. They destroyed that with the Green Lantern movie. Green Lantern movie was an unfortunate occurrence. But they asked us to come back because Flash was also in a mess. Like they tried three different takes on how to make people interested in the Flash. But really, I mean, ultimately, what ended up winning the day was letting us bring back Barry Allen, who'd been dead for 25 years following the events of Crisis, and to add a little mystery, add a little pathos to the character, give him a little more purpose. And it was an enormous success. There's still some people who resent the fact that Barry Allen is back. They wish that there was more emphasis on Wally West. And let me tell you something, at DC, they were okay with us killing Wally West. These corporate comic book companies, like it's almost like they don't appreciate what they have. Like you don't have to throw away your new toys, when you dust off your old ones. You can keep all of your toys, everyone. You don't have to destroy everything. You don't have to make drastic changes. A character like the Flash and a character like Green Lantern, they only need to be interpreted properly, correctly, like the original creators of these characters intended and like the fans are used to seeing it. And that's what we did, and that's why this worked. And that is why I believe the comic book industry is largely struggling right now. Like, they're not doing that. They're just not. They don't care about these characters. They care about social justice. They care about identity politics. They care about inclusion, diversity. They care about equity. All of these things that just don't make fun comics. You got Batman here reading Shane Davis's Superman Earth 1, I think, written by J. Michael Straczynski. This is Shane Davis's career launching work.